Who the F is that? Go and peep who's at your door. It's your girl Max. Go grab yourself some snacks. Sit back and relax, cause you effing it up at Max. You effing it up at Max, yeah. Hey, what's up? Wagwan, my YouTube family. Don't worry about me, this is just some apple juice. Because it is the middle of the afternoon. As you can see, it's daylight outside. I'm not going to try to turn the camera because it took me a while to set it up like this. So I'm just going to leave it alone and tell you a quick story. That's what I came by, you know, to drop by and say hi and bye. Not much to say, not much going on. Actually, I ain't going to lie. A lot has been going on. But one day y'all hear about it when I get to the age that I am right now. It's like life just doesn't stop lifing, does it? You know, it just... Boy. Anyway, today's story is like, it's still in my childhood. I'm now coming up to my teenage years. I was about 11, 12. My brother that I'm going to talk about, he was at 16, 15, 16. Yeah, we back at Cathal Adventure Park. The place that me and Pauline and my girls from dance class discovered years before. We started to frequent Cathal. That was a place that we all go and hang out. There was youth centres around. There was Leighton Youth Centre. There was... I can't remember what the one at Cathal was called. I just don't understand why I don't remember it. But I used to go to it. There was also Higham Hill. There was Mark House. There was Chingford Estate. It's like everywhere there's an estate, like basically where there's lots of blocks, concrete jungles, like whatever you all call them nowadays. Like, you know, the estate with flats, just blocks, tower blocks and blocks and blocks. There was always a youth centre for the kids nearby. It's pissing me off when I don't remember Leytonstone's one. If anyone lives near Leytonstone and they were from around the 80s or 70s, even, yeah, I was going to say 80s, I was going to say even 90s, but by 90s I was a big woman and I had my picnic name, so no, not 90s. But around the 80s, if you all can remember the name of that youth club that was off of Leytonstone High Road, that was for basically for Cathal youth them and for the youths that live around Leytonstone ends. Because Leighton Youth was for Leighton, and Leighton Youth was one of them that's standing up to this day. People hold events in there. I've had show put on in there. I've been to events in there. My daughter had a sports day in there. It's a big field, a big club, a youth centre. But all the youth centres anyway, they all got knocked down and closed down. That's why all the youth them are walking up and down and stabbing up each other now. There's nowhere to go. So everybody just kill after one another and I do road work and I'm doing up road things and doing up 10 toes and doing all of that. Do you know what I mean? And lurking on the corner. Yeah? Because there's no youth centres anymore. So it's not even funny. So I don't know why I'm laughing. But anyway, back to the story. It's in Cathal Adventure Playground. There was also one on Queen's Road, which we used to go to. Now that one, my mum used to know when we was there because we used to go there when we was living in Walthamstow, I believe. Queen's Road Adventure Playground. I can't even talk. Queen's Road Adventure Park. Because Cathal was an adventure playground. I think that one was just called Queen's Road Adventure Park and plus Youth Centre and Community Centre. Same with Cathal. They had a little place where there's stuff. So all these parks, they were adventure parks. These parks, like, they made up basically of wood and ropes. Like you would have rope bridges, those ones that swing, and they would have logs as well, like log bridges. There'd be log climbing things for you to climb on. There'd be the tires that they hang from a big wooden beam where you can swing on the tires. There's all these things, adventure things for kids to do, made basically all of wood and ropes, and probably wood chip on the ground for us if we fall and stuff. And you know, safety, gravel and tile, that kind of bouncy. Yeah, they had everything made up nice for the kids them, yeah. Queen's Road not so much, because in Queen's Road, this is not even the story that I'm telling today, but this was a quick and short one. Me and my brother Dean, well, all of us was over there, me, Martin and Dean. But I just remember being called and saying that would I accompany my brother home because he stepped on a nail and the nail went through his foot, guys. Yeah. So I had to hobble home. Well, my brother hobbled. I kind of hobbled because he's bigger than me, and I had to kind of like hold him up while he hobbled so fast to get back home in Walthamstow. That was at Queen's Road Adventure Park, and as my brother Dean, the nail went right through his foot, yeah, and they had to put a dirty, rusty nail, my mum saying, and crossing about it, that him could I get blood poisoning and all kind of things. She had gone and she a doctor, but yeah. Another thing happened to Dean's foot again, that he broke his toe later on in life, skateboarding when he was a teenager. So like first he had nail in his foot, and then he broke his foot. Martin had nail in his head. It's like we had an event, but me broke out my teeth then. We had an eventful childhood. It's like we must have been trying out to be stunt kids or something, to be in a stunt movie car. Me and mash up my teeth on concrete. Dean broke off him toe upon concrete. Him all stand up in a nail. Martin broke up him head. But this story today now is another breakage. Yeah. So back to Cathall Adventure Park or Playground. We was all there playing, yeah. We used to play these games like this, either Ting Tang Tommy, that everyone used to love. Ting Tang Tommy now is a game that where basically there's one person that has to be at the base, which we call home. Everybody has to run out and hide. Like that one person that's standing and count. Sometimes we say count to 100, but that's kind of extra. So we say count to 50 was the longest, or maybe 20. But you count, yeah? And then ready or not. But with this game, we don't come. The person that's at home, they have to protect the base. It's us that are coming back to the base now. If we get spotted before we get back to the base and touch the base, like say it's a wall, this is the wall, we have to run back and touch that wall. If we don't touch that wall, then and they call your name, then you're out. So basically, this is a game where if they spot you, they have to start saying, Ting Tang Tommy, I see Loren coming from the left side. Ting Tang Tommy, I see. Do you know what I mean? But it was really hard for the one person. So when they capture people, like when they're out, and they had more eyes to the Ting Tang Tommy, it's better. But when there's one person trying to Ting Tang Tommy everybody, you can't say everyone's name at once. So why these Ting Tang Tommy? Because you have to say the whole line, you know. Ting Tang Tommy, I see Jenny coming from the block. Ting Tang Tommy, I see, yeah, walking in the trees. Whatever he sees, he has to say the whole thing that he sees and where he spotted them before they get to the thing and say home. So while he's saying Ting Tang Tommy, you can be sprinting and touch home if he doesn't say it quick enough, or she, whoever's Ting Tang Tommy at the time. So we was playing Ting Tang Tommy for a while, and then we went on to All Man He. Now All Man He is another game with all the kids have to join in, and anybody can play. Our stranger picnic them. Anybody that was on the block at the time, we would say, do you want to play All Man He? And everyone knows what it is, and everyone joins in. Like, there ain't no teams or nothing. All Man He, yeah? So it's not as if like a regular he. He is where, or people say it, or in America they say tag, where you basically, you tap somebody, and they're it, and then everyone runs away from them, and they have to try and tag you, and then, yeah. So we was playing All Man He, yeah. It's like we were playing it in the adventure playground, but we was all playing All Man He can't touch the ground, yeah. Because remember, it's an adventure playground where everything is like, there's bridges, there's climbing frames, there's monkey bars, there's big umbrella roundabout thing, there's the swinging tires, there's a lot of things, logs, beams, all kind of things all over there. It's a big adventure park, so it's massive, and all these kids all running around, hopping on things, jumping off and swinging off, you know what I mean? Well energetic, yeah, doing our thing. So we're playing this, like, there was quite a few of us, there was about 15 of us, I think, that day playing this game. There was a lot of kids playing this game. Some of us, we all knew each other, some of them, that they all knew each other, but they didn't know us, and we all just came together, do you know what I mean? So it's like, everyone was gunning for, like, whoever they didn't know. So, like, we was all in each other's side. Some of the time, with All Man He, like, when you tag someone, and then more than one person is it now. And then some of the time, some other people don't even know that you've tagged them already, and that they're it, and then they get caught. So, like, we're playing it anyway. So, back to me and Martin now. Martin was in the game, I was in the game. Some of our friends, mutual friends that we've got, and other kids that are playing. So, we was playing, and Martin, he jumped down. Because remember, it's All Man He, don't touch the ground. He jumped down off of a climbing frame, or I don't know where he jumped from. But what I know is that he was trying to jump from one side to run to the other side and then jump back on. Do you know what I mean? Because I guess people was doing that as well, even though it's breaking the rules, because it's don't touch the ground. But my guy decided that too much people behind him. It's getting a bit too close because everyone was over one side of the park. There's beer stuff over the other side to run up and down on and jump on and climb on and whatever. So I couldn't understand why everyone was over here. So Martin went to run across to the other side. As he was running, some next ute jumped on the tyre and swung down. It's from a high part, you know. The tyre, you start up on a high, like as high as a tree. You're up high. There's a platform that you are on, and you jump down. And when you jump, you start off high, and then the rope will come down and then go up. Yeah. So best believe this guy. This is Martin running. This is the person coming. Martin running. The person coming. Boop. They kicked Martin flying. Yeah. Swinging, swinging, swinging until they stopped. Yeah. Ah, sorry. Martin was on the floor rolling around. Ah! Now, everyone called him Mad Martin back in the day. Yeah. Because he had a temper. And he used to chase anybody. And he will chase them forever. He's not one of them people that give up. If he can't catch you, he's carrying on. So they called him Mad Martin. He used to beat up a lot of kids as well. Like take kids and throw them all over the place, yeah. Because he had some strength like Samson, and he didn't really know his strength because like he's the same age as some of these kids, but he was bigger, and also because of his special needs, he was just a different youth. He was just different, built different, come different, yeah. So he get kicked down now. He went like Incredible Hulk on the floor. He was like. And he jumped up. I started swearing, yeah, fucking kick me off the thing. Can't you see me? Yeah, I see me going past. Going crazy. And he went to beat up the person. And then, as he was coming, he dropped down. I can't even do it. I'm losing my voice. Yeah, and holding his shoulder. Like just growling and roaring. Yeah. And everyone started crying, oh, okay, Martin, you're right, you're okay, Martin. And then it's like, the whole of the side of his face looked back up, yeah. But we also noticed that he had some next protruding bones, like. The other side didn't look like that, put it that way. One side of his body just looked weird. We're all kids, so we're just looking at him like, we're more concentrating on the face. It was later on that we realised something ain't right with this part. But anyway, we called the staff. Somebody ran inside, got the staff. I stayed with my brother. There's a whole bunch of kids crowding around. A whole bunch of us, our friends and other kids, were just crowding around. Mine's on the floor, roaring, not crying, just going and cussing. Like, yeah, every minute. He loves using the C-U-N-T word. He just loves it. He was one of those people that just talks like that, man. Proper English, you like. He was proper, like he was one of them. So he's there doing all of that, rolling around on the floor. We're telling him to keep still because something don't look right, and said that your face is all swollen because his face is swelling up. He said, yeah, he could feel it. He can feel that his face don't feel right, but he's also got this pain, and he don't know what it is, and it's like he can't move his arm. All of a sudden, his arm was just like really heavy, and it was like something don't look. But that's when we started pulling down his clothes, like and looking. And then we saw this big bone, like, it was up. Like, you see the bone here? You see that bone here? This bone, yeah? This bone here was up. And there was a deep, like, soft dip where a bone was supposed to be. Yeah, basically. Because, like, you see the whole of that bone there. I don't know if you can see, because I've got a thing in front of my camera, that's why I don't know if you can see. But your collarbone, basically, it is. Yeah. There was no bone in there. There was a big thing up here. As you can see, there's no big thing up here on mine. This just all goes down and goes around like that. But there was a big, long thing up here, pushing up, through the skin. And then there was nothing here. It was just all soft. Where I've got my tough bone here, it was just like sinking like that. It was sinking like, I'm trying to find the sinking part. It was just sinking like that, kind of, yeah, like that, sunk in, yeah. Ugh. So they called the ambulance. I had to go home, let my mum know. They've taken him to Whips Cross. We were going to go there. We'll meet them there. Basically, the staff and stuff have taken him. I got in trouble first because why we at Cattle? We're not allowed on Cattle Estate. Don't we have playground over here? Why you all over there? Why you all the way over in Leytonstone? And you all live in we lived in Leytonstone, so it made no sense just because we lived at Birch. We live in Leytonstone. That's just up the road. You let us go up the road when it's summer holidays and the fair is there, and your American GI friends come, and we all go down to the fair. We all can walk down there by ourselves then while you're doing your thing. But all of a sudden, we can't walk much closer than all the way down to Wanstead Flats. That's where the fairground used to be. But all of a sudden, we can't go Qatar. Yeah. So anyway, so she could cuss me out because we was at Cattle. Then all the way to the hospital. Then we get there, and then I hear my mother talking to the people there, and I'm there looking for the window because they had Martin in a bed. I see bandages and stuff on him, and then they had like a thing over his eye. He seemed cool because the staff member that came, they were talking to him. Plus, some next youth did come as well with the staff member. I don't know if it was his child, his actual child, and he just came with him, and he knew Martin anyway. And Martin and them busting joke and that, so he was alright. And then my mother came and said, "Oh, so he broke his collarbone," and then we get to find out, so he broke his collarbone, guys. The person broke my brother's collarbone. The person that swung down like Tarzan. I'm losing my voice. I got drinking on my arm and I drink the drink. What am I have it for? For make it warm. It was cold before, now it's warm just in my hand. Hold on. I do this all the time. Oh, that's so good as well. I don't know what I was holding it for. Still didn't clear my throat though, because it still feels like something's just straining me from talking. But yeah, he broke the collarbone, so basically that's what happened. He couldn't go and look for the guy to fight him because that's what he really wanted to do. Because everyone had to explain, Martin, it was an accident. And plus, you was not meant to be walking across there. They always say. But also, the people that are swinging are supposed to look for people down below. Because not everyone looking up there. It's way up to swing down. It wasn't like it was on the level where you can see them. They're coming from a distance. That's why he broke his collarbone, because the impact of his foot then and his boots or whatever the hell he had on his feet broke my brother's collarbone and smashed up the side and grazed up his side of his face. Because plus he went flying, so I don't know if he grazed up his face when he went flying. Because yeah, my brother went flying. He was hanging on the person's foot and then he went flying. Yeah, they picked him up basically. You know, they came. Martin walking on and took him with them. And then when they came back, Martin had gone that way, and they came back, and then backwards and forwards and backwards and forwards and backwards and forwards till they slowed down, and then they jumped off, eyes all popping out, because they knew it's Mad Martin that they just hit. And if Mad Martin gets up, it's on and popping. And Mad Martin did get up, but he had to drop back down again because his collarbone was broken. But he got up to just damage that person. Because as far as he's concerned, can't they see? Didn't they see him going across there? Why didn't they wait? And it's true. It is the rules of the playground. Those above, look out for those below. Because us below are not always going to look up. Yeah, so that person obviously done it on purpose. They were trying to swing to hit Martin because they saw him trying to get to the other side. Because remember, we're playing all man he. Martin ain't being caught. I don't know if that person was it. And they decided to dive down and try and hit Martin as well. You hit Martin, not it. You hit. And took him flying and broke his collarbone. I don't even know what that child's name was. It's some next teenage white boy. I'll never know what his name was. Just know that, yeah, that adventure, there was a real adventure that day in the adventure park. Martin got his collarbone broken. So always stay safe, kids, when you're out there. It's not always you have to look out for. You have to look out for other children around you because they may be doing stupid things and then you end up getting injured. because that was really a stupid thing. Because like we said before, you're up there on the platform. You're the one who's got all the view of the whole adventure park. That's how high it was. You can see everything from up there. You have to be a really daring kid to do that, because there's a lot of kids that didn't use that one. There's some smaller ones than that as well. There are ones that are hanging from like a lower beam, that's like on ground level, but that was the most scary one. And a lot of the kids used to love diving on that one to make it come down. It's like a proper free ride, you know what I mean? That was better than going to the fair. The adventure parks back then, they really were. They were really fun. There were so many good things in there, especially the climbing things and the wooden stuff. And that slide, they had a park next to the adventure park as well, because they had a regular park with roundabout and swings and stuff, and it had this slide, like it had a wooden roof, like made from logs, like a log cabin on top, like a wooden roof, and then you can go inside. On both sides there was an opening where you can come underneath the slide and sit down, and then the slide went that way, and then another slide went that way, and then the little hut is in between. But one time me and my friends were there, and we were sitting under there, and girls always sit under there and chat. We used to always sit under there and chat and watch the boys and stuff and whisper and hee and kiki. Yeah, one time we was all sitting under there and it started raining, but on one side of the slide was looking at the rain for ages, saying, it's raining over there, but it's not raining over here. Was sitting under the slide like, this side is raining, but when you look that way, it's not raining. I was doing that for ages, thinking, no, this is magic. It was pouring, guys. I mean, big downpour, and then all of a sudden it came right across and then started pouring on that side. That was proper magical for us as kids, because I've seen some things like that now as an adult, and it doesn't amaze me as much as it did that day. I'll never forget that day. It was the first time I've ever seen something like that, where you're sitting somewhere and on one side of you it's raining and on the other side it wasn't. I'm going to leave you all there. That was the end of today's story. Another adventure of me and my brothers. Well, one of them, the one famous Martin. Yeah, he is famous, by the way, guys. He's famous all over the borough of Waltham Forest. He's known in all areas: Chingford, Leighton, Walthamstow, Leytonstone, Hackney, all of those areas. They just know my brother, and he's probably known further on to further worldwide of England. But he's known in the UK because people just see him, know his antics. A lot of people knew him growing up, and then plus he's known because he likes to beg. He's one of those people that he's got a disability, so he doesn't work or anything, and he does get a disability and he gets a good amount of money, but he still likes to go out on the road and beg, because he has been homeless a couple of times. So it's like he still goes back to that homeless lifestyle. Even though he's got somewhere to live now, he will still go out and beg and finesse the crowd, finesse the public. So yeah, he's known. He's known all over Waltham Forest. But I'm going to leave you all there. Hope you enjoyed that story. It wasn't such a nice one because, yeah, my brother ended up with a broken collarbone. But you get to learn a bit about more of the games that we used to play when we was younger here in the UK. They got these games. There's All Man He, like I said. There's regular It or He. There's Runouts. I'll tell you about another episode with Runouts. Runouts is a game where you basically, it's another game where you have to come back to base. But in Runouts, everyone disappears. And this is usually in teams. Like, the amount of kids out, like say there's 12 kids out, 6 on one team, 6 on the other team. We all run out together, hide nearby each other, while the other team has to hunt for us. And we, vice versa, have to hunt for the other team. I'll come back and tell you a little bit about some run-out games. Until then, I think I need to go and cook. Yeah, 5:33 on my cracked screen, my other phone. Time to get Lily something to eat. I shall see you later on in the week. Yeah, make sure you come back, yeah, for some more chat, yeah, like, comment, subscribe, do all of that, I'll see you later.